What was the last anime you watched? Besides this one, obviously.
The last anime I've watched,
Yeah. Since it is Anime April.
I can't remember.
Jeez. That's sad.
I
Or
mean, are we
good.
counting the videos, the snippets that I've had to watch of My Hero for my assignment?
No, we're not going to count those.
Let me think. The last anime that I watched.
I guess all the way. Well, okay, it's fine. Just, yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Anything.
I think I might have like rewatched GGO sometime last year, post our anime August. But other than that, not really anything. I can't get myself to even start. It's because of my classes. You know, I've been in communications for so long. I can't watch a show and then not get mad at the bullshit they pull. I can't. And I want to watch stuff to relax.
Yeah.
Which means anime is out of the picture. I can't watch anime at all because I can't turn that part of my brain off anymore. It's impossible. Impossible. Every time I see a butt shot or every time I see a TV show with like a team dynamic, but there's only like one chick, and then they will merge the chick and the POC in the same person. So that person is a chick and a person of color, and we're good. We've done it. We did
it. Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
mission accomplished banner.
Mission accomplished. There was this one that I watched. Freak.
What was it? My Hero?
No. I forget what it was called. It was about... I don't even remember much of it. It's been a while since I watched that one. And it had like a bunch of people in it, but it was basically like a group of people, and so there was the love
Fairy
interest
tale.
for the main dude, and then there was one person in the team that was a woman, and that is it. That's it. That's all we got. There was
Bleach.
No, it was not Bleach. So the woman that was part of their group was the person of color. She also had the big boobs, so they got that. They got the woman who's dark, and they got the woman, and then she was dark skinned, and that's it. She was there. She shows up in like and does something in maybe like 2 episodes of the entire like show. It's like a one single season show. And then there's the main character's love interest, who's just bleh. She's just a stereotypical girl in the garden sort of thing. So yeah. So that's why I don't watch anime. Okay, I don't watch anime because every time I do, I get disappointed. And that's it. The only anime that have ever like been fine is Carol and Tuesday. And like GGO. That's it. That's it. And I guess Full Metal Alchemist counts too.
Does it though?
I mean, it does in many ways, especially because it's such an old anime at this point.
At this point, fair enough.
At this point, and then also like with regards to what was coming out then.
Oh God!
It is way better than any anime I've seen of that time. Like,
there's a reason it's like a breath of fresh air. It was a breath of fresh air when it came out because everything was just a DBZ clone-ish, following that formula at least.
Yeah.
And then Full Metal comes out and it completely blew our minds because, well, first of all, anime is very curated at the time in the West because the only way you could get it was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so this comes out, we're all just like, whoa! Because it's not like anything we've ever seen before. Okay. Everything else was like a, typical battle anime. So that's why.
Oh, I remember the show that I was talking about. It's called Sirius the Jaeger. It's basically about, it's a one season like anime. It's not a bad anime per se. It's just very cliche.
Sounds dumb.
It's about like this group of vampire hunters and who have werewolf in their group.
Very good start.
And the werewolf is the main character. And his brother is also a werewolf that gets turned into a vampire.
Amazing start.
Yep. It's very cliche. Everything is very cliche.
Yes.
And the only reason I was able to watch it through was because it was only one season, and I wanted to see like how it go. Like I was just curious, and it kept me along long enough to like. I was like, okay, cool.
You just like werewolves and vampires.
Sure, you could say that. Werewolves and vampires are fine.
All right. Look, in the immortal words of Miyazaki, Maria.
Yes.
Anime was a mistake.
We always start our anime episodes like this, and yet we continue to watch anime. We continue to do this.
Preparing to endure is inhuman. Inhuman. This is truly hell in a cell. Hell in a cell. In a cell.
Welcome to Hell in a Cell, an animation podcast hosted by me, James. That's Maria over there.
Hi.
We are a podcast dedicated to animation of all forms. We watch an episode of a cartoon or anime, and then we talk about it.
Animango, yeah.
Animango. I like it. Animango. Perfect. I'm going to start using that. It's Anime April. It's the time of year where we watch anime because
James hates me and himself at the same time, and so this is just two birds with one stone.
Yep, it is two birds with one stone. It's a whole cavalcade of hatred.
Yep.
Woo.
Yep.
But yes, it is Anime April. We watch anime, but we have a smorgasbord of anime this season.
Do we?
No.
Really?
No, we got one good one and one bad one. This is the good one.
Yep, we watched the good one because I have had a long semester and didn't want to watch another thing that would turn my brain into a puddle. So here we are.
Here we are. Next week, we are going to watch the bad one, though.
I mean, at the very least, I'll be done with most of my semester, so we'll be fine. Maybe.
Exactly. In the meantime, maybe. Yes, you will.
Maybe.
Oh, God. Anyway, this week we watched World Trigger, Season 2, Episode 1 and 2, The Attack and Collision, directed by Miho Hirayama and Go Koga, and written by Hiroyuki Yoshino. Original release date January 10th and 17th, 2021. Maria, what did you think? Well,
wait, when did this come out?
January 10th and 17th, 2021.
Just call it 2021, James.
Sorry. 2021.
My brain got so confused. I was like, wait, is this a different year?
Look, you're in the heat of the moment of reading off all the information, and you just, you got to get it out somehow. Anyway, Maria, I chose this for a very specific reason. It's because I'm a fan of it. And also, it has a very interesting backstory that we're going to get into.
Okay. So we watched this show. This is the second season. So we were in the thick of it, which explains why I was so confused.
Yes. I want you to give your recap from your perspective.
Okay.
Because I think it'll be funny.
Okay.
So just describe to me what you think happened.
Okay, so, this is like a condensed sort of thing because we had to, it was subbed, so I had to keep track of what was going on the screen and also read the subtitles at the same time, which is hard for me in my brain. That's just, anyway. So, we started off in like this planning room where there's a group of people. There's like,
call it a boardroom.
Yes, it's just a boardroom essentially, but it's like kind of dark and dank, so you know that these guys are like scrubs. They're scrubs. Okay? They're not powerful people. They're trying to get by. They're that local newspaper that runs in your town that you don't even know about, but they're still there. And they're trying to do it. They're trying to get everything done, and they're scraping it together.
Yep.
This is who we start with. They're great. They've got like 2 chicks. I don't know, a kid.
There's 1 chick.
Okay, there's 1 chick, a kid, 3 other people, 4 other people maybe, and they're planning out an attack on this facility, and they want to destroy a ship. And they're trying to destroy the ship and not just like attack the facility because they're from like a small country and they don't want to like put heat on their country. So they basically try to attack by like distracting the facility with like a bunch of little doggo boys. So that the smaller covert team can like disguise as one of the doggo boys and get inside. So they do that. They get inside. On the other hand, the people in the facility has somebody on their team that can see into the future. Ooh. And so they plan counterattack so that they can protect this ship because that's what they're afraid is going to be blown up. Which kind of just gets rid of all the suspense because the person saw the future. They kind of just have a few different ways that it could play out. And according to James, he can see like possible futures. So anyway, so they get inside, 3 of them, the girl and 2 dudes. And they're running into the facility and there's not a lot of security, which kind of scares them a little bit. There's two other girls from the facility that attack the other girl who came inside. And they have like a cool fight scene, and that's kind of where that episode ends, sort of, so to speak, the first episode.
Yeah, basically.
And they have like a cool fight scene. There's like smoke and bullets and more doggos, and on the outside there's like snipers shooting at the army of doggos, and then we like cut to a different alien man with like horns. And a kid with really spiky hair on a capybara, and I don't know what the story is over there, but he just kind of keeps showing up every now and again. He's just kind of like a sad boy.
Here, I'll fill that in really quick.
Generic sad boy. Okay.
Yeah, that's Hughes. He is a POW, and he's hoping that these guys who are attacking will take him back to his home country.
So the ones that were infiltrating, or the ones that own the facility?
The ones that are infiltrating. He wants to go to them, so that they'll take him back home.
Okay. Cool. So he goes out to go look for them, and these guys are already in the thick of it, right? They're already kind of fighting the fight. There's like, in the second episode, we sort of watch that fight happen, and the other 2 that got inside go farther in and see that there's not a lot of security, so they're expecting to be met somewhere inside. And they are met with 4 people. There's like a chick in a green dress and an invisible boyo. A guy with 2 swords who looks like the villain. And there's one more.
Yes.
What's the other? There's just another dude.
It's the guy with the shield.
Oh yeah, it's the guy with the shield. There's just another dude. He doesn't matter.
Oh my God. Oh, Ko. Ko's just crying in the corner now. You hurt his feelings.
And so they get inside and they only see the 3. They don't see the invisible boyo because he's invisible. And the invisible boyo chops out the hand of one of the dudes that just came inside. So this dude because one of his hands got chopped off, proceeded to produce 4 more limbs, like a spider thing, and turned his severed hand into a blasty laser gun, and then tries to blast through the door to get to the hangar where the ship is that they want to destroy. I don't still understand why they're trying to destroy the ship, like what's so special about the ship yet, but it's fine. James will explain later.
Sure.
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? Probably.
Maybe.
Anyway, so he does, so yeah, but he gets intercepted by the shield boy, so he's not able to really make a hole in the thingamabobber, and he has to wait till his plasma laser gun recharges again. So they all get into a fight. It's a 2v4. They're trying to sort of stay alive long enough to recharge the gun and blast a hole in the wall. On the other side, outside, they're still fighting basically with the weird doggos, and one of the teammates who's sort of orchestrating the dogs and the gates possesses some of the like pawns and fights another group of people somewhere out in the city. And we see Hornman and Capybara Boy like show up twice. I don't like, they don't actually find anybody. They just both monologue a little bit, and then we're good. It's sort of part of a long-term story thing, so they're just kind of there. They do their like little bit. They're not very good at being rogues. The people in this show are not very good at being rogues. The only good rogue is the chick who can turn into other people and make like a smoke bomb.
She is a very good rogue.
She's a good rogue. She sliced somebody in half. It was great. Anyway, I don't remember where that episode ended. I think it just ended with them fighting.
Yeah, basically.
Fighting some more. Yeah, but we don't actually see if they get through. We don't actually see anybody die either, I don't think. Right?
No.
Yeah. So there we go. There we have it. They're in the thick of it. They're still in the thick of it. 2 episodes in, we're still fighting. And I still have no clue what's going on.
So why did I make us watch this, Maria?
I don't know. Why did you make us watch this, James?
Okay. All right. We'll talk briefly about the animation. There's not much to talk about here. The real story is in the backstory to all of this.
Okay.
So what did you think of the animation, Maria?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was very smooth, but usually anime is like, at least most of them that we've watched have been pretty good with their animation when they're not like fairy tale. So the animation was very smooth, and I actually really enjoyed a lot of the fight scenes. They're very cohesive. The impacts were good.
Yeah, they're surprisingly cohesive for very chaotic.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, but it looks very good and flashy. And again, like this, I was telling James when we were watching, the special effects of the sort of the gates and like the lasers the like laser gun and the sort of impact on the door, all of that was very well done.
Yeah.
All of the weapons that have this sort of like light effect on them actually look cohesively a part of the animation and the world, rather than feeling kind of like out of place and weirdly stuttery and chunky. So that was good.
Fair.
But like, again, like a lot of the fight scenes were very, very interesting. There's dynamic, there's momentum. You know how like they don't just stop right when they attack. There's like attack and then they move and then they like skid across, and there's like there's a level of like back and forth and like a pace to it, and there's momentum in their movement. So
there's not the hit him with an attack, stop, monologue, hit him with another attack,
Yeah.
stop, monologue, that you see a lot.
Yeah, I think it is helped with the fact that they can psychically communicate.
Yes.
So
that does help a lot.
They don't have to worry about like stopping to talk, I guess, to do that multitask. It's just information being sent back and forth between the characters. So they also don't have to, I guess, worry about lip movement. So
that is nice. That is really nice that we don't have to worry about lip movements for a lot of this.
So interesting thing, I was watching, God, you haven't seen this and I hate you for it, but I was watching Young Justice, and there's like a Martian in their team, and so every time Miss Martian is there, and she will like do a psychic link and they will like talk to each other, but they will also like move. The characters will move and make expressions based on what they're talking about. And there's a scene where like another person enters like their group. It's like they're in the scene, but they're not psychically connected to the others. So these people are like talking to each other psychically and moving and making expressions. And this chick is just standing there like, what is going on?
What are you doing?
Are you guys,
why do you look like that?
Are you guys okay?
Calm down.
Hilarious.
It's gonna be fine.
But like it's a good time saver, right? Like they don't have to worry about lip movement. They can just do other stuff and pay attention to that. And I think that's a really smart move where you can get away with it. I
don't think that's how it at first worked in the manga. I think it's like, because it just shows them like talking, but I think like the implication is they have little communicators on them that they use. But I guess like not. It's in the manga, in a print medium, it's very hard to tell, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I want to know if the anime just kind of extrapolated that out into they can communicate through each other's minds.
I mean, okay, so the thing is that even if it's not in the manga, I guess watching it makes sense to me enough. Like the world is strange enough that it's like, yeah, sure, I guess they communicate with each other through their brains, sure.
Fair enough.
It's anime. Who knows what's happening here?
It's anime. It's teenagers punching each other, you know.
Yeah, it's teenagers stabbing and punching each other with sharp weapons that are bright and shiny.
Yes.
It's basically Star Wars. It's fine.
I'd say this is better than Star Wars, but fair.
Yeah. I haven't watched Star Wars, so I don't know.
I don't know. Still got to make you watch that.
Please don't.
Anyway, but yeah, no, it's not the best looking anime. It's not going to make, it's not going to get any prizes for, super high fidelity. Yeah, visual aesthetic and animation. But I think it's a very good ergonomic anime. Mm-hmm. It has a lot going for it, and it succeeds in all that it does.
Right.
Which a lot of other anime can't really claim because their ambitions stretch too far. Mm-hmm. Either they don't have the people there or the resources or the time to actually, go all the way. Mm-hmm. So having worldtrigger be a very sort of like, all the fights are very straightforward. We do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. This is the plan. They, execute the plan. It's not just like they pull out a giant laser beam out of their asshole and fire it, and then, stuff happens.
Right.
It's all very ergonomical.
For an anime that has so much fighting involved, a lot of it is very unique. Like, it doesn't feel like repeated fight scenes, at least from the 3 episodes that we saw. Like, It doesn't feel repetitive. It's clear that there's like skill sets of these characters that the creators and the illustrators are using to put together these fight scenes. Like, they're taking into consideration these characters before they put together the fight scenes, rather than it just being like, they punch and fight and shit, cool. They punch and fight and shit again, cool. And so on.
Well, it's ironic, Maria. It's ironic because you have another series. You have another series like Fairy Tail,
Right.
where every character, they have their own special magic and they're all unique powers. But you're right, like a lot of the fight scenes end up just being similar. They're just punch.
They're just punch. Yeah, punch or fight with sword or whatever. Like there's no,
Right.
you can see that there's no strategy involved. Unless it is a
Right.
very specific, like, character whose main thing is that they are, like, smart.
Right.
But that's the problem, right? Like when, because when you are learning how to fight, it is not just brawn, right? Like you are learning to watch and predict and stay one step ahead, right? Like there is a lot of mental capacity involved, and that's what makes a good fighter, is that you're kind of trying to strategize your fight against your opponent. And you might be more agile and they might be more large, and so you want to tire them out, or XYZ. Like when I was doing like kickboxing classes virtually because COVID, they would like talk to you and teach you about stuff like, okay, if you're a smaller person, then you want to be up close because you don't want to give the taller, bigger person the advantage of the range that you don't have because your arms are smaller. So you want to be right up next to them so that they get blindsided by you, right? Like, so that kind of stuff. You plan your fight based on who you're fighting. And so it's clear that they kind of did that a lot. Like they were trying to sort of, it just feels like they looked at these characters and were like, oh, this is what this group is good at, and this is what this group is good at, so this is how they're gonna try and infiltrate this giant like thing, right?
Yeah. Well, what you were saying before with the brainy characters, those usually end up being gimmick fights. Once every couple arcs, you'll have a gimmick fight where there's a lot of real strategy to it.
Exactly.
And then it never comes up again.
Yeah.
One Piece has that a lot, where you'll have a character that has a unique gimmick that requires strategy to take down or utilize, but then they'll never use it again in favor of punch.
Exactly. It's like a one-off thing, but it's never like used as an actual tool in a fight, right? Like it's like, oh, we're gonna give this character spotlight this one time, but then we're gonna go back to the dude that punches shit all the time. Even though this is clearly a better way to do it, right? Like,
yeah. Exactly, and that's where the irony comes in, right? Because like I said, in Fairy Tail, you have everybody has a unique form of magic. You could have so many creative ideas, and everything turns into just a punch out. Whereas World Trigger, everybody can select from a very limited pool of abilities in the show. You have your sword boys, you have your gun boys. You saw them. You have either the cubes or the gun, bang, 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 or the sniper boys.
Okay.
Or girls, obviously.
Sniper people.
Sniper people. So you have these three sets of abilities, and they're all very limited, but how they use them is what makes them fun. As opposed to, I have fire magic. I punch hard with fire.
Yeah. And that's something that you see in a lot of places. Like, I guess we were talking about My Hero, right?
Yes.
And it is interesting that they, I don't know how it changes over the course because I've only watched until
it gets so much dumber.
Yeah, I've only watched till like season 2, I think.
Yes.
Anyway, so up until then, like Midoriya is supposed to be this character that understands people's abilities, and that's what makes him a good strategic heroes, because he never grew up with powers, so he would record people's weaknesses and strengths and would then exploit those. Like that was his shtick, right? And when he did get powers, the idea was to understand his own weaknesses and try to play to his strengths and exploit other people's weaknesses. And that was sort of played in tandem, which is what made him a good, at least in the first couple seasons, a good hero.
Yes.
And I will give props for that. Like that's a good character sort of choice, is that, they're smart, They use that, and that's kind of what I saw in World Trigger too, because they had a plan. They knew what they were good at. They knew that they were like a scrappy little group that needed to pull most of the big guns, or at least a large quantity of the big guns, away from the main team and get inside, right? Like, it's clear, the objective is clear, everybody knows what they're doing, and they do it, right? Like, they perform based on what they're supposed to do. There's a plan is being executed. Which,
the twist comes in how their abilities come in.
Exactly. But there's no like, there's a plan. Forget the plan.
Oh yeah, no. Nobody is saying forget the plan in this show.
Which again, like, it's not a bad, like, you make a plan and shit can go sideways all the time, and that's fine. That's not the problem here. It's that usually shit goes sideways, or they abandon the plan before there's even a reason to abandon the plan, right? Like, there's a difference between you're here to blow up a depot, and then you arrive at the depot and realize there are human traffickers in there, so you can't blow up the depot because there's kids in there. So so instead you change the plan to get the people out and then blow up the depot, right? Like, you sort of, there's that new information changes how the plan works.
Whereas in regular anime, it's because the guy got bored and started and followed a cat.
It's so
and then
dumb.
The guy saw him, and then they're like, "Forget the plan."
Forget the plan, and then they move on from there, and you're just like, why?
What was the point?
Well, what was the point of that, like, planning session that you spent like an entire episode putting together? What the fuck?
Yes. Whereas this one, we had a whole half of an episode where they were planning, and then they did the plan.
Exactly.
And it was good.
We
gotta talk about that.
Anyway, so yes. I don't know. I like the writing. I think that of all of the new anime that you've, like, showed me, I think that I would definitely go back to watch this one.
I'd say that's kind of difficult.
Why?
And we'll talk about that.
Why is it difficult to go watch it?
Well, it's not difficult to watch it, but it's going to be a challenge.
Oh no, is it something that I'm going to have to watch through a season to get to the good part?
You'll have to watch through 70 episodes to get to the good part.
Oh dear God.
But not in, like, story-wise, but in animation-wise.
Okay, so here's the thing. I can deal with bad animation.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine. Like, I get it. I will see things now because I pay attention to them, but if you fuck up characters and the story, I don't care how good your animation is, I can't sit through it. I will sit through bad animation because I like characters and they're well written. I will not sit through writing. I'm sorry. I will not sit through writing. I can't do it. It's impossible. I can't.
Then I would say World Trigger is 100% worth it.
Okay.
Because, and it just came to me when we were talking about My Hero, because I realized something. The main character, who we don't see in these episodes, unfortunately.
Okay.
They're getting ready for the big battle.
Okay.
That they're going to have. It's complicated. The main character of this series is Deku if he never got One for All.
Okay.
And was also much more awkward.
Amazing.
And reserved.
It's such a shame that they fucked up Deku.
They really fucked up. But guess what? They did not fuck up Osamu.
Okay.
At all. He is amazing, and I think he's probably the best shonen protagonist that Shonen Jump has made in a long time.
Okay.
In a long, long time. He is you go in for Kuga, who is the white-haired kid. You saw him in the opening. You go in for him, and you realize, no, Osamu is the main character. And then the author is like, no, Osamu is the main character. And you're like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
It's a weird switcheroo thing.
Okay.
Where
which they did in this episode too, which is what happened to me. See, I thought it was the underdogs versus the big giant conglomerate. Turns out the underdogs were evil. They were evil. They were bad, and I still don't know why. They were bad.
They're not okay. They're not bad. They're being forced to be bad. Because a large nation is forcing them to do this. Because the big nation got their butts kicked in the previous arc.
Great. look, I liked the characters that we saw. I wanted to see more of them, and apparently they get decimated.
They come back. They're not gone, and they get some really crazy reveals.
Dun dun dun! Does the chick show up again? I like the chick.
Yes. She hasn't really shown up much, but they haven't really shown up much.
Okay.
But
well, I liked her. She was cool.
She is really cool.
She was like sassy, and I love it.
I haven't memorized the Galapola guys yet.
Oh.
Galapola guy. I haven't remembered. Their names are weird because they're from anyway. Anyway, I think it's time we talk about why I picked this series.
Okay, why did you pick this series, James?
Okay, I picked this series because I'm a huge fan of World Trigger, for one.
Okay.
That's the first reason.
Okay.
The second reason is it has a very interesting story to it.
Okay.
Backstory to it. Not the story of the manga or the anime. The story is great in the anime, but the behind the scenes stuff is a lot more fun. Right? It's not fun, but interesting.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. So World Trigger debuted in Weekly Shonen Jump. That's the big magazine that had Naruto, One Piece, all that. Maria. I don't know if you know Shonen. My Hero is in it.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. It debuted. It was a really big uphill battle at the time. It had a lot of competition. And at the time, it was looking like it wasn't going to make it. Somehow it survived this like really, really, really tough like era of Jump. Like you had My Hero around at the time. It had only been around for like a couple of, like a year or so when World Trigger came out. Actually, I don't think My Hero had even debuted yet. There's a lot. Anyway. The point is this scrappy little series that doesn't have any of the like Shonen Jump trappings that would usually kind of push it up there. The battles are really are slow and tactical. It did not set up a lot of its world building in the very beginning. It left a lot of stuff to like be revealed later. It doesn't have any sexy female characters in it at all.
Yeah. You think, that
no fan service.
Fuck people up, won't it? I'm sorry. That will really, really get people's underwear in a twist, won't it? Sorry, we're not cursing anymore, so I have to get creative.
Good. Anyway, so you see this scrappy little series make it basically. It got an anime, and then the trouble started.
Oh no!
First off, the author Daisuke Ashihara, Ashihara Sensei, he broke his hand.
Oh wait, I think I might have heard Riley talk about this person, or you and Riley talk about this person at some point.
Probably. Anyway, he broke his hand while making this series, causing a lot of delays in the manga.
Okay.
And then the anime comes out it's by Toei, who are not known for being the best at a lot of things, especially around this time where they were being, when the first season came out, anime was, get as many episodes out as possible, no matter what. And that's why the first season is 70 episodes long.
Jesus. Okay.
And the animation, which I showed you a bit of, is awful. Like, seriously god-awful.
Right.
So that's the first start. That's the troubles. But he soldiers on.
Okay.
Our brave, intrepid author soldiers on and he's also fighting against the Shonen Jump editorial team.
Perfect.
Because in one of his little author comments, he's talking about Katora, who we see in the episode. Do you remember she had the red uniform?
Yes.
With the knee pad, or I guess shin pads.
Yeah.
So he had submitted his design for her to his editors, and the editor was just like, "I don't know if we can use her. Can you make her a little more, appealing to the guy readers? I mean, she's the first female character we're gonna see in the series," and Ashihara just takes it. increases her bust size a little bit, gives it back to him unchanged besides that one detail, and the editor was like, perfect.
Oh my god. Hey. This is what's her face all over again. This is Xenon all over again, James.
Oh god, yeah. Well, her design turned out fine, though, and there's a happy ending in this one.
Oh, okay.
Because she, the only difference is her bust size is slightly larger.
That's all they care about, James. That's all they want.
I mean, she's not even like.
She's not. No, she's like by far. She's by far like. Not the worst I've seen in anime. Like.
Not even close.
Not even close.
She has no cleavage.
Yeah.
At all in the series.
Yeah.
She's shown to be competent.
Yep. She's very. I like her. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. Like for whatever snippets I've seen of this person, I like them a lot.
She has multiple fight scenes. She mentors the main character, and he respects her.
Good. Yeah.
As a mentor and takes her advice.
Yeah.
It's because of her that he is successful at anything. And she's just like, there was one point where he's talking to somebody and then they're like, how did you learn that? And she's like, I taught him that, but he's probably going to say that he figured it out. And he's just like, no, Katora taught me everything.
Oh, I see.
And she's just like, what?
Wait, what?
He gave me the credit?
Wait, what?
It's a great series. It's a great series. Anyway, and then the big trouble happens. So first of all, the anime ends. It does not get renewed for a second season.
Oh no.
And then the worst bit is Ashihara Sensei unfortunately falls gravely ill.
Oh no.
And is hospitalized. And the manga is put on hiatus indefinitely.
Oh no.
And so Toei is just like, yeah, unfortunately we had to cancel it, but we loved working on it, and we would love to work on it again.
Uh-huh.
And of course, those World Trigger fans are just like, yeah, you're just saying that,
Uh-huh.
If you, why would you say that except for PR reasons,
Yeah.
And Ashihara is in the hospital for 2 years.
Oh, Jesus.
2 years he had to be hospitalized and not work on World Trigger.
Oh.
And
that's sad.
It's very sad. And all of us fans were just like, it's probably never coming back. But they never changed the on hiatus thing at Shonen Jump. And then 2 years later, comes back. He leaves Shonen Jump and goes to a monthly schedule now.
Okay.
And he comes back, and you know what his first issue that he comes back with is?
What?
All the main characters standing around talking about a building for 20 chapters. They talk about how they're going to tactically defeat their enemies and the logistics of fighting in a building.
Amazing.
That he doesn't come back with a big battle or a recap.
Nope.
Or nothing. He comes in and they're literally talking about a building.
Yep.
That is the whole chapter, and it's great.
I mean, you'd be surprised how something like mundane as that is interesting when you like try to tell it in an interesting way. Like, yeah.
No, it was legitimately a great chapter, and it comes back, and you're just like, oh, it's back. Nothing has changed. The whole thing is just, and it's a real testament to his vision that the editors didn't pressure him to come back with a bang. He came back exactly how he wanted, with a bunch of characters talking about a building.
Yeah.
That's it.
Doing absolutely nothing like flashy, just talking about their plan to infiltrate a building. That's it.
Yep.
That's
it.
Yep.
That's all that happens.
That's
and it's
all
great.
he'd been thinking about for the past 2 years in that hospital bed.
Yep.
A building. That's all he's been thinking about.
He looks out his hospital window and see it's a mall that they're trying to infiltrate. And he sees the mall over there, and he's just like, how would I infiltrate a mall?
Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do in a hospital bed?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So he comes back. It's great. And Toei didn't lie. They were like, we've come back with a second season and a third season of World Trigger, and it's just like, what? And of course, like I had seen a bit of the first season, so I didn't have my high hopes for it. But I watched the first episode when it came out, and it was this episode that we talked about, and it just blew me away.
It's just them trying to infiltrate the building.
Well, it's a different building in the manga.
Okay.
But yes, they come back. No recap, no fanfare. You know,
we're just infiltrating a building. Yep.
We're just infiltrating a building, and it's great. That's exactly what World Trigger should be. Is a bunch of people, because honestly, World Trigger is about 70% board meetings where people are talking about infiltrating buildings.
Okay, so here's the thing, right?
Yes.
Like, it's kind of like how when we play COD, most of our episodes, not Call of Duty, Chronicles of Darkness.
I mean, you can say Call of Duty too, because that's mostly attacking buildings.
I mean, yes, but like it's also very toxic. But
it is very
like
toxic,
I just to be fair, we're not talking about video games. We're nerds. We're like scrub tier nerds. Anyway, so most of our like D&D episodes or like Chronicles of Darkness episodes are just planning. Like that's what the like meat of the episode usually is. And then we like try to do it and it just fails miserably. But like that's kind of the main part of like something like this, right? Where it's like groups of people trying to do stuff. You have to coordinate, so you need board meetings. That's all board meetings are, is coordination. That's it.
Basically.
That's all we're doing. We're just coordinating with this group and that person constantly. That's all that is. That's all it is, really.
Yeah. But that's why I like World Trigger, and that's why a lot of people are gravitated towards World Triggers. It's not because the manga's great. It is. Mm-hmm. But also like it is exactly what it is. It is exactly what it wants to be. It makes no conciliations to anybody. And you feel that because it is not like a lot of things. No manga is like World Trigger. Really. It avoids so many of the cliches of the genre. And you feel the sincerity. The man spent 2 years in the hospital. He could have quit. His health has declined because of this. He came back. I would have been fine if he had left,
Yeah.
If he had stopped working on this. He left behind a very good series, but he decided to come back, and I'm glad. I respect his decision. But also, this manga is going to kill him.
This
but he came back because he wanted. It's because he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, naturally. What else would you do so much that it almost kills you?
Exactly.
And then still come back to it.
Mm-hmm. So being a fan of World Trigger is not just being a fan of the manga.
Right.
The story. I like the characters,
Yeah.
I like that. It's being a fan of this person who has pushed through and made exactly what they wanted, and that's what people like about it.
Right, and it's a good example of like how something that is devoid of most of the trappings of like shonen manga, that like it's still popular. People like it. Like I watched it and I did not. So this is probably one of the few times that James has shown me an anime and I haven't immediately destroyed it and ripped it to shreds. Like this is probably the first time it's happened. No butt shots, no boob shots, no like unnecessary jiggle physics. Like some of them don't even have like prominent boobs, and that's great because that's how bodies work. We don't just like walk around with our boobs hanging out. Like
why not?
Because that's not how it works. There's like a cute child in there with porcupine hair and like a capybara. Yes. Why? It's just there.
Spoilers. But Yotaro is the surprisingly not annoying child character.
I know, he's great. He's adorable.
He is adorable.
I love him. I want to take him home.
That's kidnapping.
And? Did I stutter, James?
No, you did not.
That's
which concerns me.
I can't take care of a child. I will not take him home. But I will go to his house every day to give him candy. If he lived nearby.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. He would enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
And then he'd try to marry you.
Why?
That's his gimmick. Like every girl that he meets is just like, "You're my wife now."
Amazing.
And then they're just like, that's nice.
That's cute. You're cute, kid. Cute. You're cute. Yeah. Yep. Your hair's really prickly for some reason. I'm gonna not pat you anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Just blood streaming out of my palm. Anyway, it reminds me of when my cousin was really young. He was like, "I'm gonna marry you," and I was just like, "Sure, kid."
Exactly like that.
I like you and I'm gonna marry you, and I'm just like, sure kid.
Sure, kid.
Yeah. Sure.
No, Yotaro's great. And he can talk to animals.
Oh, that's nice. That's cute. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really come up much. It's not really useful, but that's the thing.
Yeah. I like it. It's great. His eyes are weird, and it's great.
It's Ashihara's style.
But
too.
I don't know. I would genuinely go and watch it. Like I would watch it. I would definitely watch from the start. Even if the animation is shit, like I would still do it.
Yeah. You're not gonna miss any of the story. You're gonna get to see Osamu's awesome mom too. He has Deku mom syndrome.
Oh, I see.
He has a great mom.
I see. He's got a great mom. Yeah. Deku's mom's great. She's adorable.
Yeah.
They don't even show her anyway. Well, forget it.
I mean, to be fair, Osamu's mom only shows up once, but it's great when she does.
Fine. Be that way. Anyway.
Look, small quantities make the heart grow fonder or whatever.
Yeah. That's a lie.
Fair enough. Anyway, that's why I wanted to talk about it. That's why I love World Trigger.
Oh yeah, I would totally watch it.
What did you think?
I would totally watch it. I enjoyed it. It was great. The fight scenes were good, and dynamic and smart, and didn't feel bullshit and stupid. Which I guess again, like that's what people come to watch anime for, like just crazy wacko shit. But also there are people that genuinely enjoy decent story and good fight scenes, right? Like, I like fight scenes, but I don't like stupid fight scenes.
Right. That's an interesting thing. Let me extrapolate on that, because Naruto, right?
Yes, I do. I haven't watched it, though.
Well, yeah. There's no reason to.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd hate it. Yeah. You'd hate it immediately. But in the beginning of the series, Naruto had some pretty tactical fight scenes. Mm-hmm. Like they would have diagrams of what the characters did after the fact, and it'd be interesting. There was strategy and tactics to it. But as it went on, it became that punchy anime where people just pulled abilities out of their butts. Right. And just shot laser beams at each other, and that's it.
And it's interesting because, this has some pretty, crazy shit happening, too, in it. It's not, there aren't people that are overpowered. And clearly, one side has more of an advantage in a lot of these fights, right? But, there's a back and forth, right? Usually in anime, it's the good guy and the bad guy, and the good guy just blows the bad guy out of the water unless it's the big bad, right? Unless it's the big bad, you're just gonna just punch them once and they're dead. Which is not what happened here, right? There's back and forth between the character, there's strategy, and you get to hear from both sides of what they're trying to do and what strategy is being put into play. And that's what's cool about it, right? Nobody likes to watch a one-sided fight, right? You want to see people's gears turning, and you want to see them you want to clock something, right? Like, and you want to be able to be like, oh, did he notice that? Is he gonna act on it? Like, did they do this, and are they gonna do that? Like, that's the point of a good fight scene is like, it's a fight. It's an actual fight. There's like hand to hand, like not hand to hand, but you know what I mean. Like, you're going pace by pace to each other. The most interesting fight scenes are the ones where that is happening, right? So
World Trigger has a very specific pacing to its fight scenes, where you have 2 or 3 groups. It's always groups. Usually, it's never usually a one-on-one fight. If it is, it's very brief.
It's very brief, right?
He doesn't like one-on-one fights usually because it's a lot more fun and not tactical to have a bunch of people working with each other.
Right.
So you'll have characters gain an advantage, and then the other characters either destroy that advantage or gain another advantage over them, back and forth until they whittle down the numbers until one group comes in with the win through either completing their goal, the plan worked, or improvising to a new plan.
Right.
Which doesn't usually happen, now that I think about it. Except later on, except when it has to. And then when it happens, it's a very like, what? Oh no. Because something went wrong.
Right.
So they have to regroup, recalculate, do something different, make a new plan. The new plan isn't just, going guns blazing, guns akimbo.
Yeah.
And that's what you get out of World Trigger.
I like that. That's like, I guess, again, like, that's certain people's flavor, right? Like, some people like the finesse involved, and some people just like the big blasty boys with the big blasty boys.
There's nothing wrong with big blasty boys, but you get bored of it after a while.
Exactly. That's where again, some people don't and some people do, and the ones that do get bored want that like added level of intelligence as part of it, right? Like
and I think like a lot more people are gonna want stuff like this because of the oversaturation of blasty.
Yeah. And there is a good there is oversaturation of the blasty, definitely. Yep.
So that's why I'd recommend World Trigger.
I would recommend it too. I enjoyed it. Maybe
read the manga. If you can't stand bad animation, read the manga and then come back for season 2. Because season 2 has so far been pretty great with its animation. Or if you can stomach it, there's nothing really wrong or missing in season 1. It's pretty straightforward. It's just ugly as sin. Oh, and there's a really bad filler arc that you can just skip.
Oh, there's a filler arc too?
There is a filler arc. I don't know how.
Amazing.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But
I'm glad they went back and really they're doing the small season. It's only 13 episodes this time. And the third season is going to be 13 episodes instead of 70 goddamn episodes.
Oof. Yeah, that's better. That's way better.
So Toei can put in the time and effort to make it look as good as it can, which they have. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. I love it.
So, yeah.
There's
a happy ending to this story.
There is a happy ending to the story, yeah. How many fingers do you give it? Out of 4.
I mean, I'm biased. I love World Trigger. It is one of my favorite manga of all time.
I mean, this season, I would give it a 4.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I wanted to watch it again, which is saying something for most of the anime that we watched.
Yeah. That is saying something. World Trigger. It's got women that do stuff.
Yeah. It's got women that do stuff.
And they beat men, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Love it. That's I don't think there's any news. There's one thing. It's just that some Pixar employees have come out and said that the fact that the Disney movies that are coming out are getting the premium treatment on Disney Plus, while the Pixar movies are given away for free.
Oh.
And they are saying it is demoralizing, and they are being seen as a lesser brand. You know,
I would pick a Pixar movie over a Disney movie any day.
I honestly, what is it, Mulan and Raya?
Yeah.
I would have. I mean, I probably wouldn't have, but I would have been much more inclined to pay for Soul.
Yeah.
Than those two, especially after the bad buzz around Raya that I've heard.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen because are you gonna pay for it?
No, screw that. I mean, there's a reason they're calling it an experiment, right? Like they want people to buy that stuff. Don't buy it. They'll cave. No. They will.
They'll cave. They will cave. Yeah, Disney will cave. They always cave.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the news that I heard.
Oof. Yeah,
Pixar
that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I bet it is demoralizing. I mean, you work so hard on something and it's been given away for free. I mean, I guess, I don't know. The creators at Disney, I love them. Disney as a corporation, I hate it. I hate all of it, and they could die a dumpster fire somewhere.
Disney has attracted some of the most creative and wonderful artists from around the world.
Yeah. Their
corporate structures has drawn in the worst inhuman garbage.
Exactly.
From around the world.
Yeah, that's kind of like what people sort of, I guess, are trying to make the distinction between is like when you criticize Disney, you're not criticizing the creatives. You're criticizing the corporation, which is completely different entities. I guess, in a sense, right? Like, where you have, these creative people that want to tell stories that can't tell certain stories because, well, the big suits won't like that story, so we can't pitch that story, right? Like, or we have to put it away for a later day or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of Disney, is creatives trying to make what they want and Disney saying no.
Yeah.
Or saying you have to do something else and then you'll get whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all a quid pro quo in that company,
which is stupid.
Yeah, and them ignoring their television series.
Yeah.
Because they're old and they still don't think that this newfangled television thing is going to kick off anytime soon.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Which I guess they're right at this point.
I mean, but streaming though, right? That is
but then they're like, this newfangled streaming thing is, it's never gonna take off. Now Laserdiscs, that's where it's at.
Laserdiscs, that's where it's at. Yes.
God. Anyway, that's it. Unless you have anything else to say, Maria.
No, I'm good. That's it for today. Next time we're gonna watch a dumb anime and my brain's gonna melt, so get ready for that, everybody.
It's gonna melt so hard because we're gonna watch X-Arms.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the thing I showed you.
Oh, right. Oh no, that was awful. Yep. Okay, we're gonna have a field day with that.
Yep, it's gonna be it's this season's punching bag. Everybody is lined up to dunk the freak.
Ugh.
And we have got our tickets.
Ugh. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, if you like this episode and you would like to support us and talk to us some more, you can follow our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Chaotic Silly, no space in the middle of any of that. And we are also going to be streaming on Twitch. James will be streaming something on weekdays at 11 p.m. PST at our Twitch channel, Chaotic Silly. So we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.